Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the CyberPunk Helmet mod, which is being made by user Trophy Hunter. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a wonderful new helmet of the cyberpunk variety. More specifically though, it adds in a helmet based off of the one seen in the CG trailer for Cyberpunk 2077. And oh man, this thing is cool. I love the look of this helmet, though it admittedly isn't exactly the most Fallout-esque of items. It is pretty darn good looking, and I gotta admit, I've got a soft spot for anything cyberpunk, especially when it comes to the upcoming game of 2077. It just looks so cool. Now, that being said, I actually do think it could fit in with the Fallout world pretty nicely if you are playing a character that's aligned with the Institute, considering it's all tech and whatnot. But if you are playing as any of the other factions, it may be a bit awkward looking, but still, it's a fun helmet. Now, how do you get your hands on one of these beautiful cyberpunk helmets? Well, it's pretty simple. You just need to go to any chemistry station in the world, go to the cyberpunk helmet category, and build yourself one of them for a mere 1 aluminum, 2 circuitry, 2 fiber optics, 6 glass, 4 plastic, 2 rubber, 8 screws, and 1 steel. And with that, you'll have a lovely new helmet with a weight of 3 and a damage resistance of 77. Now, sadly, you cannot add any modifications at this time for adding more damage resistance. The only mods that are for this helmet are purely aesthetic. Hopefully that comes in the future, but as of the time of the release of this video, it's purely an aesthetic helmet, really. Well, besides the 77 damage resist you already get. So let's head over to the weapon workbench and have a gander at what we do get. Now, in the helmet here, we have 2 categories. The first is for the texture of the helmet itself, and the other is for the texture and the animation of the eyepieces. So let's go to the helmet texture first, where we have either the default black, a police material, a wet material, or a white material, all of which pretty good looking, and I've got them all made on some mannequins behind me, so we'll have a look at that in a moment. And then as for the eyepieces, you can either have a glow pulse, a glow solid, or a glow solid noise in either the colors of blue, green, red, and white. So all in all, a fairly good selection of options to give you the aesthetic you are looking for, but again, sadly, nothing to make the helmet even more useful. But still, they are good looking, so let's go have a look at the 4 default textures here. Now that is, of course, the armor one by default there. That is what you get when you make it. This one is then the police texture, which I think is my personal favorite. It's basically the black texture, but with some white outlines around the place, which is pretty cool, I think. Pretty fun. Now the next one here is the wet texture, which I think is my second favorite. It just looks pretty darn cool. I do like the effects there. It is pretty nice looking. And finally, we have the white helmet, which is frankly kind of blinding, but honestly, out of all of them, probably the one that fits the most with the Institute, considering their general aesthetic. Well, at least for people inside the Institute, coursers, etc. will probably feel more at home with one of these 2. But nonetheless, now as for the eyepieces, I've got all 4 colors here, but with the different effects. Now this one, I'm forgetting what the effect was on this. This one is the green glow, which is pretty nice looking. It kind of looks a little bit animated and just has a good, solid glow to it. Now this one's a little bit hard to see because I was stupid and chose blue for the solid noise, but yeah, it's there. It's blue. You can certainly tell that. Now the next one is the red, and this is the pulsing color scheme for it, which I think is my favorite. The pulsing is just pretty darn cool there. And then finally, this one is the white, just solid. So no animation to it, it is just purely that texture and that texture alone. Now, yeah, I'd say probably my favorite is the pulsing one. Between the general animation that the thing has and the pulsing, it looks pretty darn cool, and perfect for perhaps a coarser getup. Now, my helmet that I'm wearing has the red with the solid noise, which I actually think is my least well, no, second least favorite. The least favorite is just the solid, because it is just, well, solid. No animation to it. If you're going cyberpunk, you need animations in there, not just a solid color. But yes, all in all, they are some pretty fun helmets, and I do very much enjoy them. Again, they may not be the most Fallout of things, but they're just cool looking. So if you'd like to have a look at this mod for yourself, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description, as per usual. But that is going to be it for today, my friends. I hope you all have enjoyed, and that you do come back for the next one. Hopefully, we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.